Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as Assistant Professor in Chevrolet Engineering College in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I am dealing the subject Renewable Energy Sources, and today's topic is Transmittivity of Cover Systems. Next topic is Transmittivity of Cover System. So transmittivity, like reflection and absorption, is a function of wavelength and angle of incidence of incoming solar radiation. So it is a function of both wavelength and angle of incidence of incoming solar radiations. And the other variables we will see now which affect the transmittivity are: first one is refractive index n, small n, it is denoted by small n. And second one is extinction coefficient K of medium. These both are functions of wavelength gamma. Okay, so as we discussed before that transmissivity is a function of wavelength. So in the wavelength we are getting these two variables, refractive index n and extinction coefficient K of medium. Suppose we are taking a surface with transmissivity tau is equal to 0. Okay, so if you are taking with this condition tau is equal to 0, that surface is called as opaque surface. So for this opaque surface, alpha plus P is equal to 1, where here alpha is equal to absorptivity and rho is equal to reflectivity. Okay, so for opaque surfaces, alpha plus rho is equal to 1. And if tau is equal to 0, alpha plus rho is equal to 1. If tau is equal to 1, then this medium is perfectly transparent. Actually, most real materials are only partially transparent under the conditions 0, greater than tau, less than or equal to 1. Under this condition only, most real materials are only partially transparent. So we can say that transmissivity is partially transparent. That is, it is also partially transparent is also called as translucent. Okay, so this partially transparent term can also be termed as translucent. These partially transparent materials is dependent upon both reflection and absorption of radiations. Okay, this tau is dependent on absorption plus reflection. This problem will be tackled in two stages. First one is the transmissivity tau rho. Tau rho is first calculated. This term is called as reflection. Okay, so the transmissivity tau rho is first calculated considering only reflection alone, not the absorptivity. Only reflection tau rho only considered alone is calculated. And in second type of stage, the transmissivity tau alpha is calculated again alone. Okay, first case tau rho considering reflection alone is calculated, and in second stage tau alpha considering only absorption is alone is calculated. So if you combine these two values, tau will be equal to tau rho tau alpha. Okay, next third stage is reflection at both phases had to be considered. But this is easy to calculate tau rho and tau alpha easily when the radiation is under only one reflection. But the problem will be complicated. When it is complicated, when radiation undergoes multiple reflection at both these phases. If you are having multiple reflections, then the problem will be complicated. Otherwise, if you have only single reflection, we can easily calculate tau rho and tau alpha. Now we will see the terms reflection and interface. So what are the formula for reflection and interface and definitions we will see. A scientist called Fresnel, he gave the relationship for the reflection of non-polarized radiation on passing from one medium to other medium. So this relationship is given for non-polarized radiation. It is passing from one medium to another. It is seen in this figure. It is seen in this figure. So this figure is angle of incidence and reflection in two medias. We are considering only two medias and we are calculating the angle of incidence and reflection. So according to this figure, see the formula here. I rho by I naught, this one by this naught ratio is equal to rho, that is equal to half of the sine square theta 2 minus theta 1 by sine square theta 2 plus theta 1 plus tan square theta 2 minus theta 1 by tan square theta 2 plus theta 1. This is the formula given by the Fresnel for non-polarized radiation on passing from one medium to the other medium. Here we will see the abbreviated terms here. What is I rho means? It is reflection beam intensity. And I naught is incident beam radiation. Theta 1 is the angle of incidence. It is made by incidence. And theta 2 is angle of refraction. If you observe the above term, in above term, the two terms in the square brackets, these two terms in the square brackets, they represent the reflection for each of the components, two components of polarization. These two represent the reflection for each of the two components of polarization. The angles theta 1 and theta 2 here. The angles theta 1 and theta 2 are related to the incidence of refraction. These are related to the incidence of the refractions. And the formula is given as, the formula is n1 by n2 is equal to sine theta 2 by sine theta 1. Make it as third equation. So if theta 1 and theta 2 are known, we can calculate the reflectance of single interface. So normally for radiation at normal incidence, we take theta 1 is equal to theta 2 is equal to 0. This is the condition for normal incidence, radiation at normal incidence. So if you combine equations 2 and 3, equations 2 means that long equation, I rho by I naught equation. So if you combine the second equation and the third equation, we get rho is equal to I rho by I naught, that is equal to n1 minus n2 by n1 plus n2 whole square. Considering this as fourth equation. So as stated below, as stated above, we are calculating the values of tau rho and tau alpha separately. Firstly, we will calculate the value of tau rho, and after that we will calculate tau alpha. The cover materials used in the solar radiations. We are using different cover materials in the solar radiations to absorb the solar radiations. The cover materials used in the solar radiations, they require the transmission of radiation through some medium. For example, through a slab or through a film of materials. But they are having two types of interfaces per cover. So we are getting some reflection losses. There are two interfaces for per cover to cause the reflection loss. So we are using some covering materials for cover for example, glass. We are using a material. On that glass we are taking some covering material. So this interface, this gives a reflection losses. This causes reflection losses. So in this situation, what we have to do is the depletion of the beam at the second surface is same as that the first surface, and we are assuming the condition as depletion of the beam at the second surface is same at the first surface. For each and every component of polarization, we are taking this condition. And with assuming we are taking this condition as depletion of beam at first surface is equal to depletion of beam at second surface. And we are assuming one thing. Assuming what? Assuming cover interface are with air on both sides. Okay, this cover interface contains air on both sides. We are assuming this condition and taking depletion of beam of first surface is equal to second one. And we are neglecting absorption in the slab. So this will be shown in next figure. What is the condition we are taking? We are neglecting the absorption in the slab. And we are considering unit incident beam. That unit incident beam is 1 minus rho of the incident beam reaches the second interface. So if you take first incident beam as 1, we are taking second one as 1 minus rho value of first one. So this 1 minus rho value of first one will be reaching the second interface. Okay, do you understand the point? First we are taking unit incident beam. For second interface, we are taking 1 minus rho of the value of the first one. And so what are the assumptions we are taking? Once we see and we will go to the figure. First one is the depletion of beam of second interface is same as the first one for each and every component of polarization. And assuming that, what are the assumptions we are taking here? First one is assuming cover interfaces are with air on both sides. This is the first assumption. And second one is we are neglecting the absorption in the slab shown in the figure. And we are considering unit beam incident. When we are considering unit beam incidence for the first one, and second value will be 1 minus rho of the first unit incidence beam. Okay, this 1 minus rho square, if you assume all these values, 1 minus rho square value, whole square value passes through the interface, and rho into 1 minus rho is reflected back to the first one, and so on we are taking. So I am telling again, by the above assumptions we can evaluate the values as of this 1 minus rho square, this value 1 minus rho square value passes through the interface, and rho into 1 minus rho value is reflected back to the first one, and so on we will take this condition. Every time 1 minus rho square will be going on, and 1 minus rho into rho will be reflected back to the before one. Okay, so this is before one reflections. This is passing reflections. So all the assumptions we are taking are, we are adding all the resultant terms. So the transmittance for single cover, neglecting the absorption, we are neglecting the absorption for the slab. This is the assumptions we are taking, neglecting the absorption for the slab. So if you neglect the absorption for the slab and resulting all the assumptions and terms above what we have stated, the transmittance of a single cover is here. Tau rho minus 1 is equal to 1 minus rho whole square plus 1 minus rho whole square into rho square plus 1 minus rho square into rho power 4 plus so on. If you go on like that by calculating this, we can take common 1 minus rho whole square, and if you take common 1 minus rho whole square, we can get the term 1 plus rho square plus rho power 4 plus rho power 6 plus rho power 8 so on. So this equation can be used. This equation can be written mathematically as 1 minus rho square, it is common, and this one is n is equal to dou into dou, n is equal to this term into infinity into rho power 2n. If you put n is equal to 0, it becomes 1. If you put n is equal to 1, it becomes rho square. If you put n is equal to 2, rho power 4, like that. So this is the summation of the 1 plus rho square, rho power 4 whole square. So again we can write 1 minus rho square sigma n is equal to xi into n is equal to alpha. This term can be minimized as 1 by 1 minus rho square, that is equal to, we can write totally 1 minus rho by 1 plus rho. This is treated as fifth equation. So this is in similar way what we have calculated, in similar manner it can be shown that for a system of n covers, it is taken for n covers, all are of same material we are considering, then we can write tau rho in terms of n is equal to 1 minus rho by 1 plus 2n minus 1 into rho. Here we are taking just 1 minus n, 1 minus rho, 1 minus rho. So if you consider n here, n covers are there. So tau rho is equal to, for n covers, 2n minus 1 into rho, we have to take this term. 1 minus rho term can be changed as 2n minus 1 into rho. And we are treating it as sixth equation. So far we calculated tau rho. Next calculation is we have to calculate tau alpha separately. So the absorption of radiation in partially transparent. Partially transparent means we can call it as translucent materials is described by Bogart's law. The law states that di is equal to k into I into dx, where di is diminution in the radiation intensity and I is the local value of intensity and k is the constant of proportionality. This k is called as extinction coefficient. It is assumed to have a value independent of wavelength. This k is having a value independent, which is independent of wavelength. X in dx, x is the distance traveled by the radiation. So from these values, from the above values, equation 7 is di is equal to k into I into dx. So this equation 7 is integrated to give the tau alpha value. So this is the equation 7. If you integrate this equation 7 with limits 0 and L, we can write that 0 to L minus di by I. We are integrating this equation 7 with respect to I. So I by I means 1 here. Remaining term is k into dx. K is a constant term. So we have to integrate this dx term. So minus k into 0 to L integrations into dx. So after integrating, we can calculate the value of minus di by I as log I. So this value is log I. These are the limits from 0 to L is equal to dx are minus x. So minus k into x, limits are 0 to L. So from this we can apply the limits. So first upper limit is applied and after that lower limit is applied. Log IL minus log I naught is equal to minus KL. So minus K into 0 means 0. So that second term will be equal to 0 and first term is minus K into, in the place of x we will get L. So minus KL. So log minus log we can write divided by symbol. So log IL by I naught is equal to minus KL. So from this, if you move the log from left hand side to right hand side, IL by I naught is equal to, log becomes exponential form e power minus KL. So this is the expression of tau alpha. So tau alpha is equal to IL by I naught is equal to e power minus k into L. So treat it as 8th equation. Here tau alpha, it is the transmittance considering only the absorption, and L considering only the absorption, and here L is the actual path of radiation through the medium. Okay, so tau alpha is considering only absorption, no reflection, and L is the actual path of the radiation through the medium. In before formula we obtained for one cover, tau alpha is equal to IL by I naught is equal to e power minus KL. So for, if you consider n covers, n number of covers, glass covers or some covers, the formula becomes tau alpha is equal to e power minus nkl. When the angle of refraction angle theta 2 is given, then the path transversed through the cover would be L by cos theta 2. So in place of L we have to substitute L by cos theta 2. The equation, above equation gets ninth equation. It is stated as ninth equation. The above ninth equation gets modified to a form tau alpha is equal to e power minus nk L by cos theta 2. Now the transmittance allowing for both reflection and absorption can be obtained in the equation 1. So in page, if you refer page 2.14, the equation is given as tau is equal to tau alpha tau rho. So one is for reflection and second one is for absorption. So the value of K for glass varies from about 0.01 per centimeters. Consider for 1 millimeters, 1 meters per minus 1. For absolutely, this is the value for clear white glass, and it is for poor quality of glass with a greenish cast of edges, it is the value of 0.32 per centimeters. So again, assuming, note that tau alpha, it is the transmittance considering only absorption only, not the reflection. So tau alpha is considered with absorption and tau rho is considered with reflection. And here L is the actual path of radiation through the medium. And coming to the next topic, it is transmittance absorptance product. Here also we will deduce the equation for the absorptance product. So if you consider a solar collector and if you want to analyze this solar collector, we have to first evaluate the transmittance absorptance product. that is tau into alpha. Transmittance absorbance product is denoted as tau into alpha. First we have to calculate this value in order to analyze the solar collector. So this tau into alpha, it is passing through a cover system and it is striking the plate. So while it is passing through the cover system and striking the plate, it is some radiation, some solar radiation is reflected back to the cover system. And all the radiation is not lost. We cannot lost all the radiation because some of the radiation will be reflected back to the plate. This transmissivity and absorptivity product is defined as the ratio of radiation absorbed in the absorber plate to the radiation incident on the covered system. It is denoted by symbol tau into alpha, and we can put here appropriate subscripts B or D, small b or small d. So these subscripts indicate the type of incident radiation. If it is a beam incident radiation, you put subscript B. If it is a diffuse incident radiation, we can put D. So this is the figure of absorption of solar radiation by absorber plate. In the above figure, tau is the transmittance of cover system. This tau can be taken from the equation 1. So tau is equal to tau rho tau alpha, where here alpha is the angular absorptance of absorber plate and tau into alpha is equal to absorbed by the absorber plate and 1 minus alpha into tau. This value will be equal to reflected back to the cover systems. Okay, so the reflection from the observer plate is probably more diffuse in nature than specular nature. So that fraction 1 minus alpha into tau that strikes the cover plate is called the diffuse radiation, and it is denoted by 1 minus alpha into tau. Rho d, the term here rho d, it is reflected back to the observer plate value. So every time the quantity rho d refers to reflection of the cover plate for incident diffuse radiation. So this diffuse radiation may be partially polarized due to reflections as it is passed through the cover systems. So every time in the reflection areas, we will multiply the term 1 minus alpha into tau into rho d. So here, if the reflection continues so long, squares will be formed here. So here, hence the summation of all these considerations yields to an equation in the next slide. Here the summation yields in before figure tau alpha summation yields to a equation of tau alpha is equal to tau alpha plus tau alpha into 1 minus alpha rho d plus tau alpha 1 minus alpha square rho d square plus tau alpha 1 minus alpha square rho d cube so on. So these are the reflected back values. Only tau alpha is going to the class and back reflected. These are the all the reflected values. So if you take common tau alpha, from this equation we can write 1 plus 1 minus alpha rho d plus 1 minus alpha square rho d square plus 1 minus alpha cube rho d cube so on. So this total equation so on equation can be written as 1 by 1 minus alpha rho d. So this becomes tau into alpha by 1 minus alpha rho d. So if you take an incident angle of theta is equal to theta 1 is equal to 60 degrees, then rho d will be of different values depending upon the glasses. For the first class, it will be Brody value will be 0.16 and second one 0.24 and third one is 0.29 respectively. Next important topic is energy balance equation. So if a solar collector is analyzed, the performance of solar collector is described by this equation, by this energy balance equation. We have to deduce the equation from the energy balance. So this is called as energy balance equation. This indicates the distribution of incident solar radiation into useful energy gain. And what are the losses? There will be so many losses, thermal losses that are encountered with the solar collector. So these losses can also be calculated in this energy balance equation. So thermal losses can be separated into three components. The first one is conductive losses, second one is convective losses, and third one is radioactive losses. So we will discuss all these losses separately. First one is conductive losses. Conductive losses gives the overall heat transfer coefficient value of a solar collector. So this value will be less than 0.9 watts per meter square kelvins. It is suggested to minimize the back losses. This is conductive loss. It gives overall heat transfer coefficient value. Next one is convective losses. So seizing the air gap between the collector, it covers at a 1.25 to 2.5 centimeters. So there will be some air gap between the collector covers. If a glass cover or any other material covers are taken, there will be a air gap, little bit air gap. So this is about 1.25 to 2.5 centimeters. This reduces internal convective losses to minimum possible level. And convection losses between glass plates can be inhibited if a honeycomb type or cellular structure is placed between the observer and the outer window plate. And evacuation of this space between the observer and the outer cover has been processed to reduce the internal convection and conduction. But the cost of the added supports and maintenance of vacuum are additionally they give separate cost. So if you use this type of covers which decreases the internal convection and conduction, the cost of this will be increasing. If you use honeycomb or cellular structures, this will be more reducing the air gap between this, and they will reduce internal convection and conductions. And last one is radioactive losses. These losses from the observer can be reduced by use of spectrally selective absorber coatings. The coatings of the glass should be very carefully selected. Because such coatings have high absorptance of 0.9 in the solar spectrum and a low emittance of they have a low solar radiation emittance of the order about 0.1 in the infrared spectrum. This is the value 0.1 in the infrared spectrum. It is the value in which the absorber radiates to the environment. So selective absorber coatings decrease the heat loss, and these selective absorber coatings increases the collector efficiency. Under steady state conditions, the heat delivered by the solar collector is equal to the energy absorbed in the metal surface minus heat loss from the surface directly and indirectly to the surroundings. These all estimations are These all relations are put in one equation. Under steady state conditions, the heat delivered by a solar collector is equal to the energy absorbed in the metal surface minus heat loss from the surface directly and indirectly to the surroundings. This estimation is given in a equation, in a form of equation. QU is equal to AC into HR tau into alpha E minus UL TP T rho minus P alpha. So this is the equation given under steady state conditions. This is the total heat delivered by the solar collector. So under this the abbreviations are where QU is equal to the useful energy delivered by the collector. It is measured in watts or kilocalories per hour. And A suffix C, it is the collected area. It is measured in meters square. Next term is capital HR. This is the solar energy received on the upper surface of the collector structure. This collector structure is of sloping nature. It is oriented to one direction. So the solar energy received on upper surface of the sloping collector structure is HR. It is measured in watts per meter square or kilocalories per hour meter square. Next term is H. H is the rate of incident beam or diffused radiation. It is measured on a unit area of surface with any orientation direction. So if the collector is oriented in one direction, in that direction only the rate of incident beam or diffused